Gentlemen.
Pressure makes diamonds or coal.
Gentlemen.
Diamonds are coal, yeah.
Gentlemen.
Pressure makes diamonds or coal.
Gentlemen.
Diamonds are coal, yeah. It's just two dudes being gents talking sports.
That's what I love about Wyatt. He can talk himself into anything.
Welcome into episode 61 of Two Gents Talking Sports and Shit.
That's right, mother. I'm bringing the heat, mother.
Here we are, Masters Edition. Sorry if this is a little off, but I just recorded it quickly, so.
McElroy has his masterpiece.
So McElroy gets
Tip
his
my cap to
masterpiece.
him,
Good
sir.
call by Jim Nance. Fantastic. We're here talking golf. We haven't really introduced our audience to our golf, like know what, when, why, whatever. To let them know, like, how long have you been? I've been watching the Masters since we got out of high school, pretty much every single year. I've been watching almost every major golf tournament since we got out of high school, every single year.
Yeah, I watched the shit out of the Masters. If I
Right.
don't watch
And
any other majors, I definitely watch the Masters. If I
you
don't, which I
watch the
usually
other
do.
one. Yeah,
do watch.
I catch quite a bit
about-
of golf because Saturdays and Sundays are just easy to chill through with
What,
golf on.
Yeah. How many majors are there? 4?
4, yep.
Yeah, so I watch probably all of them. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. U.S. Open.
Yep, U.S. Open, Players Championship, British Open,
British
and the
Open.
Masters. Yep.
Masters, yeah.
Yep. So, where do you think you got your
I golf. I know golf. I golf now. I was on
I
a
golf
course.
now. I golf on a course with a ball and a club. That's
What's a club?
What about Bob? So if you didn't know, I sail. I'm a sailor now. So I'll try to get you that
What
club.
were you going to say?
What was your introduction to golf? You think was it from your uncles or from like?
I mean, I watched a lot of Sports Center, growing up, so they would always cover everything,
Right. Well,
sports.
like your uncles did play golf, and you kind of played golf here and there growing
I
up.
played golf a lot when I was young, or not a lot,
Right.
but I would play quite a bit, pretty consistently, or whatever. But I played. They played a lot. Yeah, they taught me golf, so we would go sneak on to a course when it closed every day, pretty much every day. Sycamore Golf Course, except when it was flooded underwater there. But yeah, no introduction to the Masters. Oh yeah, it had to be either them or Sports Center or a mixture. But yeah, it's.
Oh no, just introduction.
I've always
to golf.
wanted to go to.
Because like my introduction.
Yeah, go ahead.
My introduction to golf was actually through my grandma's sister, Betty, who was like super old. But like when I went down to Texas when I was like in my teens, we went down for a spring break and she was like watching Tiger play when we were like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started watching it. I just sat in her porch, like her little indoor porch in her little trailer in Florida, and just watched golf the whole day and was like, this is interesting. And then I just started paying attention. And I started watching every time I could. I would watch, we were in school and shit, but I watched. And then once, literally, like me and Kayla watch the Masters every single year. I try to watch as many majors as I can. So I know a good amount about.
I always heard about Hogan. You'd always hear about Hogan and Nicholas. But then my favorite players when I was young was Lee Trevino, because he would do the sword. Like he was putting a sword away and shit like that when he made a big putt. And then
there's Bobby
Greg
Jones.
Norman. And Greg Norman, the Shark. Those are the.
Walter Hagen.
Yeah.
Greg Norman's funny because Greg Norman is one of the biggest. I don't think he has any majors. He's one of the biggest. Him and Sergio.
He's like the Kirk Cousins. He's the Kirk Cousins of golf, man. So,
in retrospect, I've been watching a really long time. I've seen Tiger's career. I've seen, I changed kind of who I really like. I like John Rahm quite a bit back in a minute. And I'm on an Oberg thing now. Oberg's my guy. I like him. But for a while, I was a big time.
Boy.
Oh, boy. But I really like, the thing is, I told you today, old enough, I miss Tom Watson playing, which is funny.
He misses you watching him play.
He does. He misses me, Watson, and him. Yeah. So you and me picked before the Masters started. Rory gets his first. He gets his Grand Slam. That's incredible. All happy for him. It was between him and Rose, two of the biggest.
Rose made it something. Rory kind of choking and shit. He's the first He's the first player to ever win the Masters with 4 double bogeys in a
Yeah,
single tournament. But
yeah. Did you know that
during
Justin
that
Rose had
tournament,
10 birdies today?
yeah, boy was on fire. Yeah,
He had 4 bogeys, but he had 10 birdies.
Seal, the singer, would be very proud of him right now.
Yeah, kiss from a rose. Um, Beautiful. So the way I saw it, you and me both picked before. You picked Colin Morikawa. I picked Oberg.
Morikawa!
Morikawa kind of like was in the middle of everything, and then Oberg was
He's a
making his
samurai. You
run.
got to say his name a little.
Morikawa. Okay.
Morikawa.
Morikawa. All right. So Oberg was making a run today, and he fell apart at the end. He's
Thank you, by the
young.
way.
He looks the part. I am still gonna stick with him. He's my guy for the next
He
however long.
was.
I'm
He
down with the
was
Swede.
making it scary.
Yeah, him and Scheffler are super duper consistent. We'll talk about just them for a second. Scheffler came in, played well. It
Fourth.
was
Finished
weird.
fourth.
We have the final
-8.
pairing that everybody supposedly wanted. I don't think anybody really said before the tournament that they wanted that, but that's what they made us all think. They made us think that we wanted Bryson DeChambeau against Rory. When truthfully, we would have just wanted Tiger versus anybody. The funniest part about this whole broadcast was they mentioned Tiger as little as possible to try and not let you know that he wasn't there. And I find that interesting.
And they didn't want people to be like, oh, wait, this has nothing to do with Tiger Woods? Fuck this.
They
Yeah.
did. They did it 2 times. They did it once where they said Rory had a better. We haven't seen a round like this that Rory's shooting right now since 1997, and they didn't say it was from Tiger Woods. So I was just like, bitches. Then they said we haven't had this kind of anticipation for a final grouping since 2019, which was the last time that Tiger won. And I was like, bitches. They didn't say Tiger's name in either one of them. I found that interesting.
Yeah, I think Bryce Koepka is somebody they would like to see.
Brooke Koepka.
Brooks,
Yeah.
But
Brooks.
Brooks, like Salinas.
Like the shoes.
Yeah, he was cut though. +5.
Yeah. I also noticed though during the first 2 days, I will say something. They do not show the live guys as much. They didn't show Bryson as much. They didn't show any of the guys from live. This is a PGA event, and you could tell that they do not want to broadcast live. They broadcast them as little as possible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Phil Mickelson was on the course at some point. Did you ever see him?
Was he?
I think so. Maybe not.
Did he play? No, he didn't play.
No, he didn't. Okay. Wow.
I don't think so.
He might not have. But there was plenty of live guys that were on the course. They didn't show John Rahm. They showed John Rahm a little bit because he's an entertainment factor, but they didn't show him a lot. They really held off the live guys, which is fine because that's business. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's what you will notice. They had to show Bryson because he was in the last grouping.
Yeah, you don't want to be part of our club. Well, you don't get the pub publicity. Not in the club, don't get the pub. Dustin Johnson, +3, caught. Did you know that Dustin Johnson in 2020 had the lowest score ever at the Masters? COVID year.
Yep.
He had 268.
With no fans. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had a
great year that year.
+3.
Dustin Johnson also was a #1 player in the world for like 5 straight years because he won, and he was like Scotty Scheffler. He just won so many tournaments that he was always in the hunt, and he was the #1 player in the world for like 5 years. But he was not consistently winning majors, which is what everybody brings it down to. They're even saying like in the 70s, like Jack won like 7 majors, and like they just shot through the decades, and it's like, damn, man, some of these guys just win the big events and some guys don't. How big, okay, is this a jumping off point for Rory? Because I don't think it is necessarily. I don't expect him to go on and win 5 more majors.
No, I guess you could say he was like, it was due.
It was due.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So best stat that I found total this week was Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose are the only 2 players. This was on Friday Thursday, whatever, were the only 2 players with more than 5 top 10 finishes at the Masters that never won. They both had 6 top 10 finishes and never won the Masters. So it becomes fitting that it came down to those 2, and they both were stretching for one.
That winner's instinct.
The weirdest part is I think, aren't they from the same? They're like from the same place, aren't they?
What, they got the same mom? No, I'm joking.
I don't know, but when they took their hats off and hugged, Justin Rose looked like his dad. I know his dad's name is Jerry, so I know that's not right, but it was still very odd. They have the same hair plug guy, I'm guessing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. By the way, Rory's parents' names are Rosie and Jerry, so I think that's how they got Rory.
Yeah.
You said it should have been Jesse, and his mom was like, "Fuck that."
He was like, "Ah, let's make it Jose." She was like,
Is that
"No, no, no,
not
my name
Jose?
first,
Jose's never gonna be a good golfer. Rory will.
Rory." You know, it should always been Rory the lion and Tiger, or Tiger the tiger. Um,
So
yeah.
overall, what else did you get out of this match? Give me some.
Well, Morikawa, he finished -3, tied for 14th, tied for with 7 other dudes. Hey, who's that dude? Um, yeah, it was crazy. Nobody has won it 2 times in a row in a while. Tiger Woods was the
Right.
last one. Scheffler had the 2 out of the 3.
Yep.
And there's been a lot of 2 out of 3s. Not a lot, but
Scheffler will still remain number one in the world after this.
yeah. Faldo did it 2 times in a row, and Nicholas
Yeah.
did it 2 times in a row.
Didn't Faldo do it 2 times in a row and then never won, like never even finished? Like Faldo got 2 in a row and then never finished even top 10 like in any other one. He won 2 straight and then never even like came close again. I think I could be wrong. I think I missed that.
Yeah. Scheffler was trying to, he was fighting. He was fighting. He was showing why he's one of
He's
the
a
best
great.
golfers, why he is the best golfer right now, but also always one of the best golfers and a threat in every tournament. But yeah, because 18 players have multiple Masters wins. We got Nicholas with 6, Woods with 5, and Palmer with 4. So obviously the legends. But yeah, no, it was.
Wait, how many does no? Because Mickelson has 4 too, right? I think Mickelson might have.
Mickelson,
I think he might have. I think he might have 4.
check raw. Yeah,
I could be wrong. But
but
the
anyways,
beauty of
yeah.
it is, no, the beauty of it is Scheffler is a great player. Oberg and Scheffler remind me a lot of each other. They're both, you don't see a lot of nerves from them. Oberg at the end today really flopped. I did not see that coming because he was doing
Mickelson
exactly what
has
I thought he would
three Masters
do. 3 Masters. Okay, I'm sorry.
with Faldo, Gary Player, Sam Snead, Jimmy Demerit. Yep,
Yep.
it's a pretty damn
Yeah,
good list to be on.
yeah, I feel like well then but Rory's only there's only 6 guys. He's the 6th with the Grand Slam with all 4 major wins. Rory's
Nice.
only the 6th person to ever do it. So, yeah, and I'm sure you can look up the list. Tiger's on there. Nicholas is on there. The
Yeah, I mean, he
greatest
has
of
some
all time are
incredible
all on there.
shots. I mean, Justin
He
Rose had
did.
that putt on the 18 to basically send
Yeah.
it into extra holes there,
Extra inning and
but
yeah,
that
and then
freaking
Rose
shot,
put
that shot, that draw around all them trees that Rory had, and landed like over the creek, landed on the freaking green, just rolled and
yeah.
got CTP
Oh, and
on
are
it.
you talking about before they even got to the
Yeah, on
playoff?
17. Was it 17?
17. It was
Yeah,
17. Yeah, that was I
that
thought
was
that one won him the tournament.
sick.
I thought it won him the tournament right there. I was like, okay, he wins. And then he just like
Just
gasped.
he
I'm
choked on them putts on
should
that
go
putt.
for this dude. Good Lord.
Like, like just hit the fucking putt.
Yeah, I thought that I thought it was great because they were right. It was one of the most exciting Masters that I've seen in a really long time. It turned out to be very watchable. There was a lot of good shots hit. Man, what's the kid's name that was playing with Justin Thomas? Neiman?
Was it Neiman?
Neiman. Yeah, Neiman that was playing with Justin, or is it Justin Thomas? Yeah, Justin Thomas and Neiman were playing together. And Neiman, that kid hit like 5 or 6 shots today that I was just like, damn, you should have just put this out on Thursday. He had one between the trees that he put like dead on, and it just like rolled up. He knocked one like close as hell to the pin that he hit front. He hit front green and just like rolled it on up there, and it was sick. It was from the side where everybody's like, "Is that a window?" And it was just like the patrons got to be brave standing right there. That was really sick. There were some great shots hitting this tournament, but
Well,
I
the
felt it
weather was
came down.
beautiful.
It was.
Also,
It was perfect. Great
yeah.
scoring weather. But I thought it came down exactly what it should have for these 2 guys. And it didn't make me feel any different about golf as far as like who's the guys now. I still feel like Scheffler's the favorite. And I feel like Oberg, he'll find
Oberg's
it. He's
coming.
young.
Oberg's
He's
coming.
young, man. He's young. He definitely hit some shots. He got really out of his phase at the end where he did not play the same type of golf. He played really aggressive. He hit one putt, I think on 16 or 17, where he bogeyed one of the last ones. He hit a putt that was way past the hole and it just looked bad. And they're like, that is really uncharacteristic for his type of play. Him and Scheffler seem to think through their shots quickly and just say, watch this and do their thing. So I'm looking for them to come forward. I'm glad Rory got his. Good for Rory, man. He
Yeah,
deserved it.
for sure. Uh, Tip of the cap to DeChambeau. Also, he couldn't. Took the lead.
Bro.
He took the lead on hole 2, and then never could keep it. Yeah, if you could say how these players, I'll say a name, and you say their name expressing how their round went or their tournament. We'll go with McIlroy.
McIlroy. It
Roy.
was, it was a Lions Rory, but kind of a hiccup.
All right, Justin Rose.
Seal would have been proud,
Yes.
then disappointed.
I don't know the name. Reed. Patrick Reed.
Patrick Reed. Oh, McDonald's. Yo,
McDonald's.
Patrick Reed won. He's got a Masters, but Patrick Reed's always hanging around. But I find it so funny. He hits like a curveball drive. I guess one word to say it. Um, man child. Have you ever seen him? Go look at him. He looks like a fourth grader,
I saw him.
grown up's body.
He had that field days. I think it was a field
Yeah.
days.
Oh yeah. That was he hit a hole in one. Didn't
Was
he?
it?
Yeah, it was a hole in one. Yeah, he hit a hole in one. That's how he got to 9. That was sick.
Okay.
Yeah, he hit a hole in one on
I
a par
saw
3.
it.
Got himself a 9.
I thought it was just from the field though, but I could be wrong. It was
I'll
sick,
check. I'll
though.
check. I'll make sure.
Um,
Keep going. This is my next one.
Scotty Scheffler. Scotty
Uh,
Scheffler.
Scotty, not so hottie. Played. It was yeah. It was not Scotty too hottie. Scotty not so hottie. Yeah.
Im Sung Jae.
Scotty yellow belt karate. Is that better?
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
Im Sung Jae.
No, it's Sung J Im.
Oh,
Im is his last name.
tied 5th, -7.
To be honest with you, I would say Sim Jong impressive. Sing Jong impressive because he didn't shoot over par the whole. Did he shoot? No, he didn't shoot one. He didn't shoot over par at all. He shot 71, 70, 71, 69. So
Nice.
he shot under every single day. So you can't be mad about that.
Bryson DeChambeau, the French American.
Oh, also, like I said, I feel like that's a drink you'd order in New Orleans. Like, give me a DeChambeau.
Yeah, hell, give me 2.
They just hit you in the head with a wine bottle.
Ludwig Oiberg.
Oh, that's almost good. Well, it's Oiberg or it's Ludwig hit the Ludwig Titanic iceberg because he hit the iceberg at the end, which was tough.
Got a little Zach Johnson.
At first, I thought he was a linebacker for the Dolphins, but that's Zach Thomas. So instead, we'll just say both the old man brought it, but he had bad rounds around 166. Did you know that there's only 366 shot this week?
Really?
Yeah, he shot 1 on Saturday, and then Rory shot 2 on Friday and Saturday.
That'll do it.
That'll
What
do
about
it.
the
That'll do,
Morikawa?
Oh,
I'll give you like a couple, 1 or 2 more.
Maui. Didn't you say he says his R's like L's? Morikawa. Morikawa.
I didn't say shit.
Morikawa. Nah, it was tough. He played well. He just didn't play well enough to win.
Bubba
He
Watson.
Well, Bubba Watson is Cougar's favorite player. Like old ladies love that dude. So
Popular in Houston.
Bubba Cougar Watson. Bubba Sherlock Holmes and Watson. I don't know. Because old women find him attractive.
Couple more. We got John Ram.
Oh,
Rom.
John Rahm.
John Rom.
Uh, oh,
One moment.
John John Rahm bombed. He did. He was terrible Thursday. It just
It
was.
was
It was
terrible.
bomb.
I'm
It was
even
John
better than
Bomb.
him right now.
Damn, even Charles Barkley hits it better than him. That was Fat Albert. Sorry, I missed it. No, but John Rahm was terrible Thursday. He used to be my boy too, and then like he went to live, and I just don't check. I don't chill with him no more.
Understood. And last but not least, Brooks Koepka. Dun dun dun.
I think Brooks Koepka is one of those go take the money and run dudes. I don't see him being a threat. He got real big,
Take
and
the
then I was
money
like,
and run.
he looks way too big to play golf. And Bryson, funny enough, was like bigger earlier, and he looks like he's actually kind of slimmed down, and he doesn't wear like the Kango anymore and look really like Bryson when he first came in. If you watched him play when he first came in, that shit looked weird. It was like, what are you doing? It was like, it's all science, and then he never won, and we were like, all right, cool. Science
Bill
isn't
Nye
real.
is like, dude, you're making me look bad.
Yeah, you're making me look bad. It look at okay. First
I had
off,
a
at
good
the
thing going
Masters,
before you said that.
science is a part of it, but luck is a huge part of it because it is by far the hardest course that they play. It's the Daytona 500. They start the season with their biggest event, and the greens in this tournament are so hard to read and so hard to get up and in on.
Everybody kept saying they go fast. They're getting
They're
faster and
fast as
faster.
hell. And then everything was dry. They didn't get a lot of wetness, so it was fast. And they make you play golf where the smartest thing they said about Justin Rose was they said Justin Rose is the only guy out here right now trying to not overpower the golf course, and everybody else is trying to overpower the golf course, and that's why he was in it for so long and really kept the lead, which is impressive. I'm gonna go through my notes real quick,
Yep, let's do it.
um,
What
just
are
for
these
fun.
notes?
This will only
What
take a
note?
couple minutes. These are
Masters
notes that I just took every day.
notes.
These are notes that I took every day, just for fun. You're
Let me
froze.
let me introduce it. Check, 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 check.
You can introduce it, but now it's your video.
Sure. Can you see me?
I can see you, but you're froze. There you go. Now you're moving.
All right. Andrew's Masters notes. Here we go.
Woo! All right. So in round one, the back nine was playing 34 shots harder than the front nine, and the first feature group got there with Justin Thomas and Scotty Scheffler. Watching the overthinkers, sorry, Oberg and Scheffler both were unflappable on the course in the first day. Now, if a cop jumps on Scheffler's car, he may drag him unknowingly for a bit, but that's in real life. On the course, playing a game, both these guys play with a great pace and recover so great. Watching Oberg is like kind of like watching Tom Brady until like the last 3 holes of today because he doesn't make mistakes. And Scheffler, too. They don't make a lot of mistakes, so they make it hard to beat him. And Oberg, like the first day, he went 4 under on the back nine, which is shooting, like I said, 30 strokes harder. The perfect example of the overthinker was Rory, coincidentally playing the same group, literally lost his 4-stroke lead in 2 holes on the back nine, which I thought was interesting. I said earlier, Justin Rose and McIlroy are the only two players with more than 5 top 10 finishes at the Masters that have never won one. That's over. Now, Justin Rose has 7 top 10 finishes at the Masters without ever winning one.
Lucky number 7.
Hole 3 on the golf course was the only par 4 that measures under 440. It measured like 350. And yesterday, it played the easiest hole. Yeah, hole on the course. And then they moved the pin 35 yards. And today, it played the hardest hole on the course in the final round. Scotty Scheffler's last 4 opening rounds at Augusta were 17 under. Early on Friday, hole 5 was playing the hardest on the course. One of the announcers said that Steph Curry reminds him, or Obear reminds him of Steph Curry because he's always happy to come to work. And I was like, no, it reminds me of Tom Brady, but that's cool. And then funny announcements. Justin Thomas looked over at his caddy and was like, something's not right. And then the commentator said, when he says something's not right, something's not right. I found that hysterically funny. Another funny one by the commentator. This game is hard when everything's going great. That was actually a really good comment. I like that one.
I like
Um,
that one.
then when they took a shot at John Rahm, he said about a guy he made the cut last year, actually tied for 45th with John Rahm, and I think he was taking a shot at John Rahm, but that's just me. Another good quote: "Don't let your chin get too close to your shoes.
Keep your head up, right?
Keep your head up, baby." Yup. Let's see.
Baby, don't lie. Got to keep your head
64%
up.
of the week, 64% of the field found the fairway on the 7th this week. Only 18 is harder to hit, which is the hardest fairway to hit in golf. Um, let's see. Jordan Spieth's career on the 10th hole was 8 under par before this week, and he went double bogey to start his round or start his 2 rounds this week. I thought that was interesting. Another note: I felt old enough today to start asking people when I see them if they're staying out of trouble. Like, hey, you staying out of trouble? So
Hey.
I feel like I'm gonna do that from now on. Tommy Fleetwood had top 5 finishes in majors. Couldn't get one here, but I thought that was interesting.
Solid.
And then my last one is when Zach Johnson was on fire on Saturday and hitting an approach on 15. The one dude said, I mean, is this 2007? That to get to 6 under because Zach Johnson's like 49. So,
He had a
yeah.
hell of a shot. He had a field ace
Yeah.
on Friday. I think Friday. Yeah, it was exciting. It was nice to have sports on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
This is my favorite day of sports, pretty much to me. And like, I know everybody's like the Super Bowl and shit. This is my favorite day. The final day of the Masters, the final day of the NBA season. I love today so much.
Well, this a major tournament, especially the Masters, reminds me of like March Madness in a way. It's like
Right.
April Madness.
Right. And
Like
it's a great
post
tournament.
March Madness.
It's weird because nobody realizes. It's funny though. I started getting this presence of also listening to them. They talk. Some of them was weird because some of them have that Georgia accent and or
Who?
Southern accent. And when they be talking about ball speeds, when they be hitting it, it sounds almost like NASCAR. It'll be like, oh, 5 iron, 189 miles an hour. How the hell did he do that? You see him coming around that curve, and I was like, what am I listening to? It's like,
They
this
were
is Daytona.
like
No.
Rory said he needs to control his head speed because during warm up he was swinging 4 miles per hour harder than he normally does.
Yeah. Like, oh, did you see that 5 iron, 179 mile per hour ball speed? It was weird. I was like, all right.
Other
I ain't never heard him use it that much. I
funny
got
quote
it.
I heard today was Justin. They were watching Justin Thomas, Justin Thomas. He was striking it pretty well with his irons, and it was a par 3. Can't remember which one. Probably like somewhere around the mid round, like 9 or 10 or something. Anyways, he hits it and just laces it. It's a nice ass shot, and then he takes a seat, and then his caddy takes a seat, and the commentator's like, "Oh, Justin Rose." He's like, "When you think of Justin or Thomas, I'm sorry, when you think of Justin Thomas, that's what you think of, a iron strike like that. Oh, a well-deserved rest by Justin Thomas." They're like, "Yeah, it's a lot of walking out there." And they're like, "What else?" The other guy chimes in. He's like, thing that the past winners had in common, like Nicholas and Palmer, were they had huge legs. I was like, what the fuck are we watching?
They were John Stockton shorts, so I could see them.
Yeah.
Okay, funny
yeah.
about Justin Thomas. That's right. I remember when a quote about Justin Thomas that was really funny when the guy goes, Justin Thomas he hit just laced that 9 iron. The guy goes, that shot perfect from Justin Thomas, just like it always is. And I was just like, is it always?
It
I was like,
always
is it always
was.
perfect? Because to be honest with you, he's 4 over right now. Are you sure?
Yeah. When they showed him, it was like,
Because I don't think all of
I
them were
was
perfect.
watching him, it was like +5, and I'm like, I
think
think
one out of all those. Yeah.
I think that's a typo. It can't. When I was thinking of
I think
Justin
it's a typo.
Rose,
He's hit 72 shots today. One of them was perfect, but yeah. All right.
once
Cool.
every 72 shots, it's perfect, just like it
It's
always
perfect.
is.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. Once a Masters.
Yeah, it is cool to see
so-
like people do great on the golf course and just hit spectacular shots. They take their time, but
They
They're
do.
beautiful though, beautiful shots. Cause I was like, oh man, it's warm enough. I can get the clubs out. I got out a wedge and I like hit it. Well, actually, I didn't really hit it, but so because it kind of just rolled about 22 feet.
You're
And
like, damn it, Justin Rose.
I was like, that's crazy because none of those golfers can do that one time, or they'll probably
All
get
right.
kicked out of the tournament.
Right.
So
Yeah. Is golf the hardest sport in the world?
I don't know every sport in the world, but all the sports I know of, yes.
Okay.
What about you?
You think
What
it's the
say
hardest in the
you?
world?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I think it's I think it's no question the hardest sport in the world. I think it like has a very um even keel thing about it, and a lot of people will say that
I think
it's
wrestling is probably up there.
yeah, but
Um, there's a
not that's
sport.
not
There's
professional.
there's like a basketball sport where you can like body slam each other, like literally
I think that like
suplex them, belly to belly, back
yeah,
to
but that's
back,
like
belly to
it's
back.
hard. I don't know, man.
I'm
No,
like,
I know what you're saying, but like
no,
a
but the
professional
most
sport,
difficult professional
it is.
sport, absolutely.
Well, because people say the hardest thing to do is hit a fastball. That's right. But I bet you I'd hit a fastball before I hit a hole in one.
Right.
That's all I know. So,
Yeah.
it is
I
the
could
hardest sport.
hit.
Also, the other
I could hit a 10-year-old's fastball right now. I mean, come on now. And they say
totally
what kind
easy.
of fastball? Is it a
That's 60 miles
fastball?
an hour, Timmy. Fuck your shit. Sorry.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Forever your internet. Okay. So, all right. Here's my argument. I want to give everybody the argument on why golf is the most difficult sport.
Oh shit.
Because I can only, well, the average person can only name like 5 golfers, and probably 2 of them don't even play anymore.
Morikawa.
And yeah, yeah, but seriously, they can't name
That's
any
it.
golfers, and
That's
you
all I
can name
got.
probably 50. You could probably name 50 football players and 50 basketball players. But nah, and
At
hockey's hard,
least.
but I can name at least, yeah, I can name more of every other sport than I can golfers.
Yep.
So that's the reason I think it's the hardest sport in the world. And also, a lot of players play golf and they're not good enough to ever be on tour. So
Yeah.
my favorite thing is people are like, Steph Curry's about to be on the pro golfer. No, he's not. No, he's not.
No. He
No.
could try.
Okay.
He's no Happy Gilmore.
No, he'll be let's see who's at the bottom here. He'll be like Nick Dunlap, who shot a 90 and a 71 and got bounced after 2 rounds. He'll be Nick Dunlap. That's what
Yeah.
who's at
Everybody
the
in the
bottom.
tournament gets paid. Happy Gilmore or Mr. Gilmore.
Everybody gets I
Oh,
just want to know. Can I
want a
get one of
big
the
check?
checks? I want a check now. Like I don't have any checks to give. Well, give me one of them big ones. I don't care. Yeah.
That'd
So
be Steph
um
Curry.
I ranked this. Since Tiger probably won in 19, right? Did he win the Masters last in 19?
Mm.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Run away, run away, run away now. Oh, schnitzels. What the hell am I doing? Well, I'm going way back,
But either way,
1959.
oh yeah, give us all of them. Just kidding. I think that it was a really good Masters as far as it goes. Since
Yeah,
Tiger was involved,
19. Yep.
I feel like
Shot a 275 total.
Tiger won in 19, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
Patrick
since
Reed
19,
won
I feel
before
like
that. Holy shit.
yeah, he did. Yeah,
What
badass Patrick
the
Reed. He looks like such a child. Like he looks like if you put like a 2-year-old that just stopped eating crayons head on a grown ass man. That's what he looks like. It's
But he
weird.
still eats glue.
But he still eats. No, he does eat glue and eats crayons. But I'm just saying it
Yeah.
looks like that kid's head on there. He still does all that stuff. But
Oh,
yeah. No, yeah. So since 19, I think this was the best Masters as far as like weather, scoring, good
Yeah,
shooting. There was
for
a
sure.
lot of guys that hit good shots. It was a fantastic golf match to watch. I was very happy with it. How about you? What do you rate it? I
Yeah,
rated a 8 out of 10.
for
Masters.
sure. Yeah, I agree. That's a good
So,
rating. That's a good.
Yep.
It's a good ranking. Well, that's
Episode
your
61.
gents. these two gents, instant reaction to the
Yeah, flew by, brother.
89th Masters. We just want to say thank you for listening, friends.
And thank you for Jerry and Rosie for conceiving Rory so he
Yes.
could come and finally not choke his guts out and win one.
Yeah.
Still choking his guts out.
Rory gets his Grand Slam. Is that right? Grand
Lions
Slam breakfast.
Rory versus D-Sham, bro.
Yeah, what's your best headline for this?
I think that's what it is. A Lions Rory versus D-Sham, bro. That's it.
D-Sham blows his
D-Sham blows.
load.
That's really good.
Mine is
Thank you so much for listening. What is it?
Mine
Come on.
is leader of the pack for now. There's always a new one.
All right. We'll see you back for part B or 62, whichever one comes first.
We'll see. Love you.
All right.
Thank you for listening. We don't need no sponsors, but follow us. All right. We out, baby. Peace.
Gentlemen,
Pressure makes diamonds or coal.
gentlemen,
Diamonds are coal, yeah.
gentlemen,
Pressure makes diamonds or coal.
gentlemen.
Diamonds are coal, yeah. It's just two dudes being gents talking sports.
That's what I love about Wyatt. He can talk himself into anything.